So, this Sabbath, I met with my friend and we discussed something on who is God and who are we in terms of skill. And what we came up with is consider this that you look in a mirror, right? And it's a two-dimensional image that you see. But from the two-dimensional image, you can make a three-dimensional mold from it, right? So from that two-dimensional image, you make a two-dimensional sketch that can be converted into a three-dimensional model. So like basically the plans, the blueprint of a building. It has the face, how you face it from the front, how you face it from the side, and how you face it from the top. So all these will decide on how the blueprint will come out, and from that blueprint you can make a model like from clay, and in that manner you have a three-dimensional image of who you are, because we've moved from the mirror to the canvas to the sketchbook, and now we are at the clay. So we're being molded to the precise dimensions on that blueprint, and what we get is a representation of what you see in the mirror, not a two-dimensional image but a three-dimensional figure. So let's consider this: the mirror itself to the canvas to the sketchbook and to the clay. So the mirror it gives a direct representation of who you are. It's quite accurate, but it's limited in that it only shows what it says. So basically you have a clear picture of what you see, but that's not enough to tell you exactly what it is, because we have internal organs that can't be seen in the mirror. So those are just assumptions, because considering you know what a human being is, you know what makes them move and everything. So this will be basic assumptions. But from all these basic assumptions, you can see that they actually work, because it's standing in front of you, not as that thing exactly, but the image of it, and in a two-dimensional plane and not a three-dimensional plane as they are existing. So we move to the canvas. The canvas is basically an idea of what you've seen. So you paint out the exact image and in how you've seen it. So you can consider the three-dimensional aspect of it by adding depth to the picture itself, or you can consume it completely and use a simple diagram, because either way they are a representation of the entirety of what you've seen in the mirror. So we see on the canvas, what you draw out is how you want it to be perceived. And so consider like a quite accurate picture where you've actually drawn out each and every outline of what is actually like a photograph basically, and consider a stick person. Those are two different approaches to the same thing but at different degrees of it. So how accurately it's been depicted or actually drawn out is how well it will be viewed by another audience, because you already have seen the image in the mirror, so you're actually trying to bring out a representation of it by your own understanding. So let's consider a quite accurate depiction of it with depth and a clear outline of this is a three-dimensional image, three-dimensional object in a two-dimensional plane. So how that is will be then taken to the sketchbook, and that sketchbook will then have to consider the precise dimensions at which this particular object is being represented. And that's the purpose of the sketchbook, because it will look at it from a frontal angle, from a side angle, and a top angle, basically capturing it in a three-dimensional aspect in different two-dimensional views. So this will then generate the three-dimensional model in the clay itself. So basically the sketchbook is the truth of it in a form of manner. The sketchbook is a truth of it because it gives an accurate means of representing it, a sort of a standard which can be manipulated and a certain result will be reproduced, and that's the sketchbook. So coming to the model, it is forged according to the sketchbook. So being at the model, we look at it's being modeled as per the sketchbook, which is traced as per the canvas, which is drawn as per the image, as per the reflection, which is as per the object. So basically this object is being diminished to a model. So considering clay to the potter, the potter has life, he's a living being, but the pottery are not. They may exist but through the potter. So whatever the pottery does and wherever it ends up is because it was made by the potter, and the actions of the potter led it to where it ended up in. So you can assume the potter to be God and the pottery to be humanity itself, at least a section of it. But yeah, so this is basically a scaling of who God is to humanity at a particular perspective. But then what we ended up actually delving in is at the canvas. So we have this reflection that's in the mirror, we have this image that's in the canvas, and in the sketchbook, and this model that's from clay. So what similarity they have is that they are on something. The reflection in the mirror or on the mirror, and canvas or in the canvas, the image on the sketchbook or in the sketch, and the model in the workplace or on the workplace, yeah, whatever. But yeah, so what it is in or on is actually its plane of existence. So, of which in our case as humanity is on the earth, which is in the universe. So yeah, what I take from this is that if we can look at it from that perspective, is that you can get an idea of who and what and why God is. But then it's up to debate, I guess. But it's an angle at it.